All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson, a video warning you women that beauty is fleeting, man. And like, we're men, man. Right? We got eyes, right? We got testosterone. We got a male physiology, right? And the beauty of a woman cheers up a man's countenance, right? But the beauty of a woman in a woman's eyes gasses her up and makes her feel unstoppable. And when you actually truly read these scriptures, man, you actually start to learn that a woman's beauty and all the different things that she has access to make herself seem more attractive is her armor, right? And I'm going to go straight into the scriptures. This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Now, in this world, Jake gets gassed up, right? If they're able to, like sleep with another man's wife, they're able to make another man's wife look at them with a lustful eye. But what you don't understand is that these women are going to just do that anyway. They're going to do that anyway. Their minds wander. If these women have got a wanton eye, they got stretched forth necks, wanton eyes, and they're making a tinkling with their feet. So you might just be minding your business. You don't even see a certain woman. And she might look at you and wonder, oh, I wonder what it would be like with that guy. You're just minding your business, never even seen that woman. But she might be thinking all kind of lustful thoughts in her head, about you, and about, oh, I wonder what it would be like with that guy. And that could be when you're not even dressed in a stylish way, but then in a way where you're just dressed a bit more presentable. Then they'll be really doing that, man, to the point where you'll be like, you know what, I don't even want to dress up like that to be getting the attention of these demon people out here. You'll rather dress down most of the time and keep your clothes just clean, but dress down. And it always reminds me of the story. I think it's funny, man, that Apostle Tahar mentioned of a certain shirt that he's got, man, like a silk shirt that when he puts it on, it just like flows down, right? It just flows all over him, and then he like always gets compliments when he puts on that shirt, to the point where he was like, you know what, I'm not wearing this no more. I ain't wearing it. It got to the point where he was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna wear that particular item of clothing no more, because it leads to too much attention from people that I ultimately don't want attention from. But when it comes to women, if women realize that there's a certain outfit or a certain look that gets them attention, you think that they'd ever throw that piece of clothing away? Never. They'd never do that. In fact, women go out of their way to try different looks to try and see which ones get them the most attention, man. They might try a look where they wear a headband, a look where they wear a bandana, a look where they've got their hair straightened, a look where they've got their hair curly, a look where they've got mascara on, a look where they've got mascara off, a look where they've got lipstick on, a look where they've got lipstick off, a look where they've got a different colour lipstick, right? A certain dress length, right? To try and give us the image of, oh, I'm modest, I wear clothes that cover my body, but the woman can still be a hoe. They might do a short skirt apparel, right? They might try and dress sporty, right? They might try and have a look where they wear glasses. They try all these different looks to try and see which ones get the most attention, man. And they ain't never gonna stop doing them looks if they realize it caused confusion on the day. They're gonna overly do that, man. But here's the thing: beauty is fleeting, though. That's what you women don't understand. Beauty is fleeting. It's gonna go away eventually. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16, moreover Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and what with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. In that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet. So this makeup and all of these different things that the scriptures are going to go into is what makes women brave, man. It's what gives them their confidence. It's what makes them have all the arrogance that we can clearly see that women have. It's because of makeup. Because when they go home and take all that stuff off, they don't look even close to being the same a lot of the time. Their hair is going to look different. If you take away all the things that these women beautify themselves with, their hair length is going to be completely different. The texture might be completely different. Their eyebrows might be completely different. Their lips are going to look thinner. Their boobs are going to look smaller. Their ass is going to look flatter, right? their stomach might be fat because they got a girdle around there, right? And if these women was to literally just get undressed and look in front of the mirror, right, after they come out of the shower and just look at themselves completely as they really are, they'd be a lot more humble. I was watching one video one time where a guy said you don't really ever actually really see a 4 out of 10 walking down the street because these women were wearing makeup. You don't actually get to see a 4 out of 10 for real in walking down the street. And it's true, man. But like, when you see some of these women describing like the current dating market and all of these things, they say, oh, when I go through the street, I see all these beautiful women, absolutely beautiful women. But when I go through the street and I see the men, they're not. And I'm like, the women are wearing makeup. What are you talking about? The women are wearing makeup, right? And the men aren't. Men's faces, the men's face that you see walking on the street are pretty much what their face looks like. Like they ain't got no deception on their face is their face. Now it might change based on whether they got a haircut, based on whether what beard length they've got, right? If they even have a beard, but the men's face pretty much looks like what the men's face is. But you women, can you say the same thing? No, you can't. And then you get in your chest all high, actually having the nerve to try and bun out men's appearance when your appearance ain't even real. Most of the people haven't even seen your real appearance, man. And that leads to a lot of women thinking in their mind that they're better looking than the average man that they see. But furthermore, that they're better looking than the man that they're in a relationship with, when really, in actuality, they're actually not. They're either equal, or potentially the man might be better looking than them naturally. But this is a cold, hard truth that women don't understand. Beauty's fleeting, man. Men over time, in women's eyes, end up looking more handsome as they get older. Whereas women in men's eyes, most men don't think that the average woman that's in her 40s is attractive, man. And most men definitely don't think that the average woman in their 50s is attractive. But there'll be certain men in their 50s that women will think is attractive, even if it's just for the things that a man can provide as a man in his 50s that he couldn't do in maybe his 40s and his 30s and his 20s. Verse 18, and in that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cords and their round ties like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. So these are all things again that give women bravery, right? These are all the things again that give women bravery, and it makes them get gassed up and makes them forget that beauty is fleeting, right? The chains and the verse 19, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of their legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, all of these different things that give them a certain look, man. The changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, all these different clothes, man. Like women don't even have to worry about having expensive clothes. Because men don't care. Men ain't vain like that to where they care, but women are vain. A woman can see one outfit that looks exactly the same as another one on a man, but she'll be gassed up off the expensive one because she might see a logo that she's like, oh, that logo's on the brand, so on that clothes, so that means he's got some money. She won't be caring about what the actual physical outfit looks like sometimes, but then sometimes they will, depending on who's in the clothes. But when you actually go from being unfit to being fit in this world, you actually realize how vain and how fickle women are, man. When you actually, if you actually it even just seems as though you've increased your financials, you'll actually see how vain and how wicked these women are, man. Because a woman that didn't like you before, didn't actually even pay any attention to you before, she might now, because she thinks you've got some money, all of a sudden want to know you all of a sudden now. And that's why a lot of women are going to catch hell when the society falls, man. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, because beauty is fleeting, right? And instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well set hair, boldness, because again, beauty is fleeting. And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and their gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Now the main thing that's going to make these men sit upon the ground, well, at least a combination of both, is that these men ain't going to be gassed up over them no more. But the reason why these men ain't going to be gassed up over them no more is because the society's fallen. So men are going to get back in their natural male mode, right? But also, it's also going to be because they're going to have to look at what they really look like, man. They're gonna have to really look at themselves for real and see who they actually really are. They ain't gonna be able to pretend no more, man. They ain't gonna be able to hide behind makeup no more. They're gonna have to deal with who they actually truly are, man. And actually have to deal with who they actually really are, what their character actually really is. They ain't gonna be able to hide, right? They ain't gonna be able to hide no more, man. No one's gonna be able to hide. Everyone's gonna be forced to look in the mirror, man, in the spiritual mirror that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is gonna put before them. Let's go to this. No, I'm not even in Proverbs, but I'll highlight that for next time. Maybe it was the spirit that I was supposed to bring that out. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. And part of the thing that makes these women brave to want to commit adultery is ultimately that the laws of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua are not performed in the society. So a woman that commits adultery, nothing's going to happen to them. And another reason is that they get gassed up because people look at them with lust. But some of you women wouldn't even be getting looked at like that if we took away the makeup. The men would be able to control themselves more. You women have like put wearing a performative mask, a lot of you. But when you drop that on them, they don't want to hear that because it's too true. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 30. Favor is deceitful, right? You're going to get a whole lot of favors in this world because of what you look like. People are giving you the benefit of the doubt, right? Favor is deceitful, and that's deceitful. Women getting to get away with a whole bunch of things, getting jobs, right? Getting access to certain things, getting to see the world in a way that the average man doesn't get to see it because it's perceived that you look good, right? That's deceitful because when you're getting something, there's no such thing. Ain't you heard the term? There's no such thing as a free lunch, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch, man. So they want something in return, and you women are going to give it. You women are giving it. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth Yahweh shall be praised. Right? Beauty is vain, man. Beauty goes, man. It's fleeting. It ultimately fades away. Right? It ultimately goes away. It's a thing that doesn't last forever. Right? It's a thing that ultimately passes by. Right? You ain't gonna be in your mind. You ain't gonna be able to try and talk about 10 out of 10 when you're in your 50s because you'll be a damn liar. You already know that you ain't. You already know that you ain't, man. Right now, I went on to the AI overview before turning on this lesson, and I asked it, what does the phrase beauty is fleeting mean, right? And it says the phrase beauty is fleeting means that physical attractiveness is temporary and will inevitably fade away with time, aging, and natural changes of life. In the context of Proverbs 31 and 30, this statement serves as a realistic warning against placing too much value on outward appearances. It highlights several key truths. Now, you have to remember in the scriptures that it says that a woman's glory is her hair, which ultimately is going into really her overall appearance, because there'll be women that don't necessarily have long hair that could, but they are gassed up of their appearance, man. Even all these women that are wearing all these septum nose rings, they're gassed up of that because they think that a particular appearance and look makes them get treated a certain way, man. They think it makes them feel powerful to have that stupidness in their nose, right? For whatever reason that they think it. It says it has an expiry date. No matter how much money, time, or effort someone spends on skincare, fitness, or fashion, youth cannot be sustained forever. Grey hair, wrinkles, and physical changes are a natural part of the human experience. Relying on physical beauty for your self-worth means building your identity on something that is constantly slipping away. Exactly. How much more beautiful could you say that, man? Let's read that again. No matter how much money, time, or effort someone spends on skincare, fitness, or fashion, youth cannot be sustained forever. Grey hair, wrinkles, physical changes. You know how you women always gassed up off you, whether how round it is, whether the thing round or not, right? The size of the bumper, right? Eventually, as you become old women, your bum's gonna become like a sandbag, like a beanbag, man. If a man grabbed it, it's just gonna sink in. It ain't gonna have that natural firmness and jelly shaking that it has, man. That it has now that makes men lose their mind. It ain't gonna have that. And you're gonna know that. And you're gonna have been gassed up of that in the past. So then now what you're gonna do when it's gone? What are you gonna do when you don't have nothing to rely on other than try your beauty, but your beauty's gone? What are you gonna do when you lived your life based on only what you look like, but now that's gone away? Let's read it from the beginning again. No matter how much money, time, or effort someone spends on skincare, fitness, or fashion, youth cannot be sustained forever. Grey hair, wrinkles, and physical changes are a natural part of the human experience. Relying on physical beauty for your self-worth means building your identity on something that is constantly slipping away. Exactly. It's superficial. Physical beauty only costs. Excuse me. Physical beauty only coats the surface of a person. It cannot change someone's character. And that's why you'll see all these women that are extremely attractive online complaining about why they can't find a man, and you'll just know it's because of her. You'll just know it's because of her, because if she's beautiful and she's a good person, a man would be a fool to not want to date her, right? He'd be a fool to not want to wife that up, right? If she's beautiful and on top of that, she's a good person, she's got a good personality, she's got a good character, she's actually a genuine human being. Why would a man not want to be with that? Why would there not be several men that have tried and attempted to be with her of all different kinds? Why would they not? It wouldn't make sense, right? Considering you women claim that men sleep with anything, so how many men would be trying to get with that woman then? Physical beauty only coats the surface of a person. It cannot change someone's character, fix a bad temper, or create genuine kindness. A person can be visually stunning on the outside while being toxic, dishonest, or cruel on the inside, and that's why the scriptures say, "Stumble not at the beauty of a woman," because just because she looks good, that don't mean she's not a demon, man. But you women should be thinking of the amount of effort that you women put into changing your appearance, right? You should be putting that similar amount of effort into trying to become a better person and trying to gain some skills outside of your beauty, because them skills could last forever. But the beauty's never going to last forever. It's just not. If at 18 you women looked a certain way, at 25 you might not look the same way just after that. 10 years from then you definitely ain't going to. So most women don't look the same at 18 as you did when you're 28. And you definitely don't look the same at 18 as you did when you're 38, man. And now you got gassed up of what you looked like in the past, still looking at the old photos, but it's going to make you miserable. Because when you look in the mirror, you definitely don't look like that. You look like you could be your own mom. And that's why some of these moms out there get jealous and envious of their daughters, because their daughters remind them of what they used to look like, man. Right? Their daughters are now able to date all the kind of guys and be dogged out like some hoe, like the mom wants to still be. Right? And the mom don't try and warn their daughter like and tell her not to do it, because she actually genuinely wants her to not make the same mistakes that she made. She just don't want the reminder of what the mom just don't want the reminder of what she's missing out on and no longer able to do no more because she's too old. That's how it is with a lot of you women, man. The contrast, eternal value. The proverb pairs this phrase with, "But a woman who fears Yahweh is to be praised." This sets up a powerful contrast. Outward beauty depreciates over time. Inward character, spiritual growth, wisdom, kindness, and integrity appreciates over time, growing deeper and more beautiful as a person matures. Exactly. In today's image-heavy culture of social media filters and cosmetic enhancements, beauty is fleeting. Is a reminder to invest more energy into developing an unshakable soul than maintaining a flawless temporary exterior. Which, mate, you can't say it any more clear than that. You can't say it any more clear than that, man. So for all you women out there that are gassed up of what you look like, right? Or you already know you don't look good right now, and you're thinking of a way to pay some Frankenstein ass doctor to get your nose aligned, get your chest aligned, get your glutes this, BBL and all that stupid foolishness, right? You better focus on some inward stuff. Because when all hell breaks loose, the beautiful woman is gonna go down anyway. Because the access to women is gonna go up. The supply and demand is gonna change than the supply and demand right now. The demand is gonna be lower, but the supply is gonna be higher. So you men ain't gonna be able to run the same games that you run now, man. It's just not gonna work. Your women's value is gonna decrease rapidly in that time. Just wait. Right? Beauty is fleeting, man. And you better remember that, right? Just like how a man's physical strength for the men, this is one for the men. Man's physical strength is fleeting. You're getting gassed up off all of that. That goes, man. But faith can't go, can it? Shalom to the elect.